Our platform is engineered specifically to protect high-risk internet infrastructure such as banking and fintech software from sophisticated phishing and remote access Trojan attacks. We provide a security layer that neutralizes the threat of rats, which hackers use to gain remote control of a system. Even without a physical access, a hacker using a rat can monitor your screen and log every keystroke you type. Traditional passkeys often fail here because they are heavily dependent on hardware that can be bypassed by a rat, and if the physical device is lost, the user loses access entirely. Current passkey Currently, the passkey development is dominated by only three fans: Microsoft, Google, and Apple, leaving a gap for a platform agnostic, ironclad defense. To solve this, we have developed a visual password system. It offers a virtual wall of defense that is more secure than a 16-character long password and far less of a hassle than managing hardware passkeys. Our SaaS integrates onto any system via a simple API and salt key setter. Hmm. Pause it. Okay, so basically our system is comprised of three phases. The first phase is the sign-up process, where the user will establish their unique security pattern through a three-step registration flow. The user will give the basic details such as full name, email address, and the mobile number, and choose a password in more 8 characters. The user will then be redirected to a secured portal which features three sections. Scan it. Will be redirected to the visual password setup then. And this is the setup which has three phases. One is the image section, one is the input secrets, and the third is the cognitive format. So the image section is basically a grid of 56 images from which you have to select 4 images. These are our anchor images. Then we'll have to choose two alphabets. And then for the cognitive formula, we'll choose solve that formula, which has 5 single digit numbers and from which we'll select one of them. And then we'll click on active. And after clicking on active, our setup will be completed. And then will be redirected to the login part. So the login part is the phase 2, where the authentication process uses a dynamic challenge that changes every time, making it impossible for a rat to repeat it. First, we'll input our details, like the sign up process. Then, there will be one image. Basically, the user will be redirected to the wall of defense, where they see a grid of 16 images. Only one of these images is from their original anchor set, and it now displays a randomly generated number. So, our original image is the onion image, and it has the number 50. So we'll be adding this number 50 with our sort that we have selected, which is 5, and the answer will be 55. And the characters which were chosen were X and R. So we have to put 5 in X and 5 in R. That consists 55. And for the other alphabets, we have to put random ones. And then after clicking verifies, will be verified and will be redirected to the main page like this, and the session will be key. So the last step, when he a solution in case the user forget the process. Basically, for some users, this can be literally a bit of a hassle because, like other passwords, there are chances, although rare, but still there are chances for the user to it, like forget the password. So what will the user do? So basically, if the user forgets their visual pattern, we utilize an agentic AI calling system to handle recovery securely and efficient. So in the AI verification system, the user calls the recovery line. Our AI agent verifies the account by checking the linked contact honor and asking for the last 4 digits of the user's back. The user receives an OTP on their phone and provides it during the call. A reset link is emailed to them, valid for only 5 minutes. And if the AI system encounters an issue, the user can manually escalate the call to an admin, will verify their identity and trigger the reset link, like the full. In the initial stage, we faced a major challenge in making our system user-friendly. There is a well-known trade-off between security and usability. The more secure a system becomes, the less user-friendly it is. We encountered this issue firsthand. At first, we implemented complex mathematical operations such as solving equations or performing large multiplications and divisions. However, this approach proved intractable. Users generally do not have the time or patience to perform lengthy calculations just to check something as simple as their account balance. To address this, we simplified the process by introducing lightweight numerical operations such as adding a single digit number to a double digit number or adding two double digit numbers. This significantly reduced the cognitive load on the users and made the system much more accessible. We incorporated this insight into our design. Users could personalize their experience using familiar images and simple alphabet combinations. For example, users could select two letters that are meaningful to it, such as their initials, the name of a favorite person, place, movie, or song. This level of customization improved the overall user experience compared to our earlier approach. We further enhanced usability through storytelling. For instance, imagine a user logging in and seeing an image of his favorite cricketer, one of the favorite cricketers of his. The number displayed on the image could represent the runs scored by, the alphabet could represent the scoreboard, and a solved value could represent the remaining runs needed to win. The user mentally adds the value and enters the result. This narrative based interaction makes the users engaged with the system compared to conventional authentication methods like passkeys, which are often perceived as technical and complex. Our approach offers a more intuitive and enjoyable user experience. To- And also, there was another issue, which was the interception problem, the vulnerability of our system to interception by bugs. To mitigate this, we implemented the secure proxy pattern in our SaaS architecture. This approach ensures the sensitive data is not directly exposed in client-server communication, thereby significantly reducing the risk of interception and enhancing the overall system security.